Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this week's video. If you're new here, my name is Lisa and I'm a freelancer in Cornwall, and if you're not new here, welcome back. If you watched my last vlog, you will see that I have welcomed a new furry friend into my family. Oh, there he is knocking my tripod. Here he is, my little angel boy. You've been pretty good, haven't you? You've been pretty good. Oh, bless him. I'm gonna pop him down in a minute. So we've been living together for a week now, and the first week has been amazing, honestly. He's been so good. Obviously, it's the usual puppy stuff, like the nipping, like he's doing right now, and jumping up and stuff. But apart from that, he's actually been pretty good. Like, I was expecting it to be a lot worse. I think I'm someone who over prepares, and I think of the worst case scenarios. So then when something doesn't happen that's the worst case scenario, I'm in a good place. And that's kind of what's happened with him and having a puppy for the first time. We've already nailed the sleep. So night one, he was up every hour on the hour crying, and I had to go and sort of comfort him. I put his crate in my bedroom, and yeah, he was just the first night very off, which is to be expected. And we had a 2 a.m. toilet break outside in the garden, up again at 5. I had zero sleep. I was running on pure adrenaline that day. I just brought this puppy home. I was just thinking, oh my God, I need to look after him, and this is a lot, and is he okay? Is he settling in okay? Does he need the toilet? Is he crying? Like, all of this stuff. And I didn't get a wink of sleep on the first night. But then honestly, from the second night onwards, it's been pretty good. So I would say the first 3 nights we had to get up at 2 in the morning to go to the toilet, but he slept in between those periods. So from like 11 p.m. till the 2 a.m. wake up for the toilet, and then 2 a.m. till 5 a.m. So he gets up when the sun rises, and because we're in the summer at the moment, that is at about 5:30 a.m. But luckily I'm kind of a morning person anyway, so I quite like being woken up and having to get up and out and going outside first thing, having the sunlight hit your skin. It's been the most beautiful weather. It's always been too good because it's been a bit of a heat wave here in the UK, so I'm just trying to balance like keeping him nice and cool and happy. But it's been lovely in terms of like toilet training and stuff, because I haven't been going out in the depths of winter, haven't been having to put coats on, scarves on, getting rained on. It's just been beautiful sunshine from ear to ear from the moment I brought him home, really. By night 3, he'd already slept all the way through the night, which is amazing. I was not expecting that in the slightest. I couldn't believe it when I woke up and it was 5 in the morning and we hadn't got up at the 2 a.m. toilet break. So that's been consistent ever since. He now goes to bed and he sleeps all the way through until, yeah, sunrise. So when it gets light, it's about 5:36 sometimes, and he wakes up and we go straight outside, straight to the toilet, and then our day starts. It's currently 7 a.m, so we've been up for about an hour already, and he's had his toilet break, he's now playing, he's had his breakfast, and yeah, he's just a happy little puppy. He's honestly gorgeous. We've had pretty much smooth sailing. I would say the only kind of areas for improvement, which, you know, I'm talking like I've had him for months. I've literally had him for 7 days, so the fact that, you know, he's learning things already, he's going to the toilet, he's sleeping through the night is great. We've had a few accidents in the house, that's to be expected. I also don't have a back door, so what I have to do when he needs the toilet is pick him up, walk him through the front of the building and around the back into our garden. So that does take like maybe 60 seconds, and obviously it's not like I can just leave the back door open and give him the opportunity to run out if he needs, but I honestly think he would try. More of the accidents are happening now by the front door, which is really great, so I'm happy about that, and I think that's just going to progress as he gets older. Crate training has been a game changer. I think it would be something I'd highly recommend, and I use the crate mainly for nighttime sleeps. So the crate is in my room, he can see me, and he just settles really nicely in there. I do think every dog is probably different, but for me, he went straight into the crate as soon as we brought him home, and he kind of sees it as like his little bedroom, his little safe space, and he likes it in there. So I've been using that. And just for things like if I need to shower, I'll pop him in his crate, let him settle, go to sleep, and then I can obviously leave the room and go for a shower. I can't be watching him all the time. I've had to pop out twice as well, but for no longer than 20 minutes, and I've had the cameras on him and he settles quite nicely, so that's really good. I wouldn't leave him for any longer than that right now because he's just too little, but yeah, in his crate, sleeping, he's really safe and secure, and he really likes it, so that's been great. I would definitely recommend that if you're getting a puppy. The main area we're working on at the moment is the car. Now, he kind of hates the car. He doesn't do too badly when I put him in there and like give him treats, and also, to be fair, it's been so hot. I've only taken him out in the evening from 8 p.m. onwards, so it's not too hot in the car, or when I've been taking him to things that he has to go to, like the vets. He doesn't mind sitting in the car, but it's when I turn the engine on and start moving, so I think it's a little bit more motion sickness rather than some kind of separation anxiety, because obviously I'm like in the driver's seat and he is in the back seat behind me, like diagonal to me, so he can still see me. But yeah, he really hates moving in the car. He was crying and barking and it just wasn't very nice, but it's something I'm going to have to get him used to. So I think we're going to do small incremental trips. The other night we did something so lovely though. I took him to see the ocean for the first time. So we hopped in the car, 5-minute drive to the seafront, and then I literally just picked him up and I just walked like 5 minutes maybe. Like we were outside for all of 10 minutes in total probably, and just walked him down to the headland and just like showed him the beach from afar and the ocean. And he was really curious. He was sniffing the air. He could obviously smell like the sea salt air, and we saw different people, different dogs were walking around by our feet, and he was just soaking it all in. That's the thing, I really wanted to make sure that I get him socialised as early as possible, but also there is a balance between just doing too much, because I think as puppy parents we can kind of worry that we aren't doing enough, or the puppy's like, oh, he's not done anything new today. But actually they need a lot of rest, they need a lot of time, and also this early stage is all about us building trust together. But I feel like by taking him out and about and holding him in my arms, I am becoming his safe space. So that's really good. So yeah, it's been a really good first week. It's Sunday today and we've got the vets tomorrow on Monday for his second jab. And then he should be good to go outside from a week after then. So by next Monday, so in like 8 days time, he will be allowed to actually touch the floor. So I won't have to be carrying him out to the toilet all the time. He'll be able to interact with other dogs. Monday's appointment from a week after that is going to open up the world to him a little bit more. We can actually go on our first walk. We can meet some other dogs. So that's going to be really, really good. I just need to get him to the vets tomorrow without traumatizing him. But yeah, I thought I'd pick up the camera and just vlog this week between him actually being able to go for his first walk and us still being in like the puppy bubble. I didn't really want to pick my camera up for the first week because I'm being honest, I've just been finding my own feet with it and just like really enjoying him. But yeah, I thought I could bring you guys along on a realistic week with a 10-week-old puppy who hasn't been vaccinated yet, and just show you kind of like our routines. It's not that exciting, to be honest. Every day feels a little bit like Groundhog Day, but in a good way. Like I really like the routine and it's really rewarding just to see him pick up the little things. Like I taught him sit the other day, you know, and he picked up really well. We're currently working on leave it because I think that's a really important one too. And he seems to be getting it. The last few times he's jumped up on my legs and he scratches, and it's not his fault, but his nails are like scratching into my skin. I have used the leave it command and it takes like a few seconds, but then he does get off. So I think we're doing well with that one. I'm going to do a little bit more training on that today, I think. But yeah, there's so much you can teach them. I just don't want to overwhelm him. At the moment, he's just playing and yeah, really is a good dog. He's a really, really good dog. So yeah, thanks for clicking on this video. I hope you enjoy. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And yeah, let's get into it. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of leave it training. So in this hand, I've got kibble, which is just his everyday food. So it's, you know, enticing, but nothing too exciting. And then in this hand, I've got high quality treats, as in the stuff he really wants. So we're going to practice trying to get him to leave this hand and then he gets a treat with this hand. Now, I'm not a dog trainer and I am just copying stuff that I've seen online, but we did a little bit of this yesterday and already he's starting to pick it up. So I thought we'd do another literally like 5-minute session of this and then on with our day. And that's how they sort of pick things up, I believe, is just reinforcing it in small doses, not sat there for like literally an hour tiring this poor little guy out. So yeah, where's he gone? Leave it. Yes. As soon as he looks away and disengages, then he gets the treat. Leave it. Yes. Leave it. Yes. Good boy. Right, we're going to try it on the floor now. This is like level 2. So we put it on the floor. Leave it. Yes. Leave it. Yes. Good boy. See, already he's remembering from when we did this yesterday. It took him ages yesterday. Now he's just picking it up. Leave it. Yes. Leave it. Yes. I didn't even have to cover it up then, guys. That's really good. Oh, you are clever. And then, most importantly, you pick up the kibble and you remove it, because in theory, in this test, this is the thing you don't want them to have, which is the chocolate that you dropped on the floor or something dangerous that they cannot have. So yeah, you pick it up and remove it. So it's not like, oh, you've just done all that training and now you get to eat the kibble, even though obviously kibble is edible for a dog. But yeah, we'll work our way up with that one. I'm really pleased with that, considering it's literally been 24 hours since I even introduced him to leave it, and he's doing really well. He's so smart. The routine is pretty much toilet, then play for about 15 to 20 minutes, or do some training like we just did then. Then he normally naps for like 1 to 2 hours, and then it's just repeat, rinse and repeat. And yeah, in these little awake periods are the times where I either try and teach him something, let him just completely run around and play with his toys as he wishes, or we'll do something like go out in the car, or I'll take him for a little socialisation walk. But that's pretty much the routine of looking after a puppy. It's pretty straightforward, but also quite monotonous and full on as well. I'm very lucky that I work from home. He's liking to go down here at the moment, which I don't mind, but it's when he gets behind the sofa, like he's trying to do now. What are you doing? Ziggy! Off for a toilet break. This happens about once every hour to 2 hours. I have to carry him all the way outside and take him to his toilet. So let's go. He normally gets a treat, but I forgot to bring them out. But yeah, he normally gets a treat every time he goes for a wee out here. He's a good boy. And that's it. And I'll write down on my phone the time that he went, and yeah, he'll either tell me if he wants to go again, hopefully, or if it's been too long, we will just come out again and try. And that's kind of my toilet training tactics. We're going to have our first visitor come over in about 10 minutes. Caitlin and Connor are coming over to play with Ziggy, and yeah, to meet him. Very excited to see how he reacts to people in his own space. He obviously met my mum when we brought him home, but at that same point, this was not his home at that point. I was new to him, my mum was new to him, so it was all just a bit random, whereas now we had a week together here in the flat. I'm really interested to see what it's going to be like when someone new comes into his space. He has been nothing but amazing when meeting other people outside of the home, like with the vet, he was lovely. With my neighbours outside in the garden, they were making such a fuss of him yesterday, and he absolutely loved it, was wagging his tail, was so happy. So I think it's going to be fine. I think he's a very sociable, well-behaved dog, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. Good morning, it's Monday and we are just getting ready to head to the vets for vaccination number 2, which is one step closer to Ziggy being allowed to go outside, which I'm all for, very excited. We had a little bit of a rough night last night, I won't lie. Nothing dramatic happened, just a few things towards the end of the evening. We had a toilet accident, and then bless him, he was just randomly sick in his crate, which I checked after and, cleaned it all up, made sure he was okay, kept like a close eye on him all night, and it was, I think, just a random one-off. I'll mention it to the vet today, but it's just the first time he's done that, and then I just completely got into my own head and was thinking, oh my god, what if there's something wrong? What if he's eaten something terrible? It was just a bit stressful. And then when I get into that mood, I then can't sleep. So even though he was sleeping just fine in his crate in my room and I had my eyes on him, I then just couldn't get to sleep because I just got into my head too much and started to feel like really stressed and panicked. So I didn't get much sleep last night, but we're all good this morning. He seems right as rain, like his usual self. And the main thing is we're actually going to the vets today anyway, so it couldn't have been better timing for me to just take him to the vets for his vaccination routine appointment, and also just ask them a few questions, including mentioning the being sick thing, and see what they say. I have no doubt that it's just a normal puppy thing. I obviously googled it, I asked ChatGPT, and it was all very reassuring. It was just one of those evenings, but yesterday was really lovely when Caitlin and Connor came over to meet him, and I'm so proud of him. He was so good with them. He wasn't being aggressive, he wasn't being territorial, he wasn't being overprotective of me. He literally just went up to them like, oh, new humans, who are these people? And they sat on the floor with him, he was jumping on their laps, he was wagging his little tail, no barking, not even much biting, to be honest, which he has been doing a lot of with me when it's just us here. He loves to jump up on my legs and try and bite them, but that's again all normal stuff. But no, it was really good, so I'm glad that he got to meet some of my friends and he reacted well to that and them coming into his space as well. So yeah, all really positive. We're gonna head to the vets now. I am a bit nervous about getting in the car again because the last 2 times that he's been in the car, he hated it. But I think I've got a little plan of action to get him to calm down and be okay. And it's only a 10-minute drive, but yeah, this is absolutely necessary. There's nothing I can do about him not going in the car. Like, he has to go to the vets today, and this appointment's really important because yeah, as I mentioned, it's his 2nd vaccination, and that is one step closer to him having a lot more puppy freedom.
Okay, this is going better than it has ever before.
Boy, aren't you a good boy? Is this your piggy?
See, it'll all be fine until we start the engine, and then it'll be a cry fest.
Oh, you're such a good boy. You did so well at the vets, didn't you, baby? Yes, you did. You did so well. My doggy voice is probably so jarring at this point, but yeah, he did so well. He didn't even feel the needle go in. They gave him a treat, and I was more nervous than he was, to be honest, because we all know I hate needles, but he literally just ate his treat and was like, he didn't flinch, he didn't move a muscle. I don't even think he knew it happened, but yeah, we're now on the road to freedom. 7 more days and this little pup is going to be ruling Nuki and meeting lots of new friends and just having his best life. Mwah. Oh, I love him so much. We've just woken up from a very long nap. Him, not me. I've been working from the sofa. And now we're going to go out for a wee-wee.
This little outdoor pen working its magic.
Now just giving him some of his lunch. He's a little bit hit and miss with his food. Like, he does, that's exactly a prime example. Thank you, Ziggy, for proving my point. He will run up to it, sniff it, walk off, then come back, take a bite, then come back, walk off. I've left the Hoover there because I vacuumed this morning and he did not enjoy it. So I thought if I leave it there, he can at least suss it out. But yeah, he kind of just like grazes as he goes. And you know, the food eventually gets eaten as long as he's not hungry. That's the main thing. We also have this fun quirk whereby I can't go to the toilet unless he follows me, and then he barks outside the door. I'm gonna try and go now and show you guys. This is Ziggy down here. This is me about to attempt to sneak to the toilet. Won't go very well. Let's see. Nothing to see here. Oh! I'm just about to make myself a little halloumi and pomegranate salad thing because I have been eating atrociously since bringing home Ziggy. I've just been grabbing easy microwavable stuff and just stuff that I wouldn't normally eat, and I'm not fueling myself very well. So I thought I'd make an effort, make something nice for lunch and something summery as well. I thought a halloumi salad will definitely hit the spot. Also, if I think about how messy my flat is right now, I will spiral. So we're just gonna ignore it because we are embracing the chaos. I normally have things super tidy, things put away, but it's just absolute chaos here. There's toys everywhere. There's just stuff where I haven't been able to put it away and I don't want to move because I don't want to wake him up. So I've just kind of left it and we're just living in the squalor for the time being. We've just come in from a wee break and he is now just playing with his toys. He actually plays by himself quite well. Obviously I play with him loads, but it's quite nice that he can entertain himself too. Good morning, guys. We are off to do something very exciting this morning. We're taking Ziggy for his first ever cafe trip. Aren't we, baby? Yes. Yes, we are. Good boy. Just trying to get him calm and settled in the car. We're just sat literally outside my house because he doesn't love the car. When I pop him in here, he is always trying to scramble to get out, but I think that's pretty normal. And I'll be honest, the progress is small, but it is there because the first time I put him in the car, he freaked out. The second time he freaked out loads, but then on the way home was okay. And then yesterday with the vet, he was more like just whimpering and crying. He wasn't like barking or in distress. Now, obviously, if he's in actual danger and distress, I'm gonna pull over, but it's not. It's just the fact that he doesn't really like the motion. And why would he? It's a new sensation. And you know, he's not used to being in the car. He's never really done it before. Having said that, when we picked him up, it was obviously like a 2-hour journey and my mum was sat next to him in the back and he didn't cry at all. He was totally fine with it, like no worries whatsoever. So I think it's more that he's like back there by himself. But as you can see, hopefully you can see, I can like put my arm back here. Obviously not when I'm driving, but
yeah, I've put a few treats back there. And the cafe we're going to today is Sea Space. If you guys have watched my channel for a while, you'll know exactly where that is. And it's my favourite cafe in all of Newquay, and I work there a lot. I do a lot of remote working, and it is so dog friendly and just such a lovely place. So we're actually meeting Caitlin and Connor there this morning, and they're going to kind of be back up for me because I'm a bit nervous because I have taken him for like walks around the block, and I've obviously taken him to the vets, but this will be the first time that I take him somewhere that's like not the vets or like just nearby. And I've got his harness on, and I'm going to pop his lead on as well, and then just hold him close. And then, you know, God forbid he does try and make a run for it, we have got the lead. Obviously that's not ideal because he's not meant to be touching the floor or anything, so the ideal scenario is I'm just going to hold him close to me. We're going to grab our little takeaway coffee. We're going to try and sit down for maybe like 15 minutes or just however long he can handle it, and then we're going to go home again. Just like small little baby steps, but it's really important when you have a puppy to try and socialise them as much as possible, especially for me, because I really want him to be the kind of dog that comes with me to the cafe and sits on the floor while I do some work. So yeah, wish us luck, guys. I'll try and document as much as I can, and yeah, let's go grab ourselves a lovely little coffee, and hopefully this drive will be okay. The fact that he's actually being quite quiet now is progress still, because even though I haven't put the engine on yet, he is still like kind of chilling there. He's trying. I can see he's literally a bit like, where are we? But trust me, in the long run, you're going to love the car, because the car is going to equal adventure.
The little Sea Space trip was such a success this morning, and it was just one of those moments where you think, oh, this is actually lovely, like core memory made. I met Caitlin and Connor there at 7 a.m, so it was a bright and early start for all of us. And yeah, we just carried him in and let him have a sniff around. He cried in the car a little bit on the way, but interestingly, Sea Space is right next door almost to our vets, so he's kind of getting used to that route anyway. But yeah, he had a little bit of a grumble and a cry en route, and then when I got him out of the car, he was wriggling around a little bit, but he soon settled, and I think he was actually wriggling around because he was excited to see Caitlin and Connor too, and it wasn't just me. But as we went inside, he was really calm. You could tell he was kind of sussing out his surroundings, all the new sounds, the new smells, the new people, and yeah, we just sat and had a really calm coffee. We got all of our coffees in takeaway cups just in case we had to dash, but I ended up finishing mine in the cafe, and yeah, we had like a good, I would say, nearly hour there, which is great. I took him out for a wee just before we left, so I knew that his bladder was good for that small trip. I took him up to the counter with me to pay. The staff were making such a fuss of him. He was loving his life, and then he was just kind of sat on my lap while we were sat down, just taking in all of the different colours and scents, and I guess it's really a bit of a sensory overload for him in a way because he's never been there before, and it was just really lovely. He even met a little Australian doodle who was so cute. They obviously didn't interact or play because he's still not fully vaccinated yet, but even the dog coming up to him, she was super calm, which really helped. But she kind of like walked up to us, and he was just on my lap looking. He definitely wasn't scared. He didn't bark. He was wagging his little tail, but he also wasn't like over the top wagging his tail, like trying to get to her. It was very much giving, oh, this is really interesting, not sure how to proceed, but I'm also not feeling fearful, which I am going to take to be a really good sign. And yeah, when we got home, he was absolutely knackered, and the way I could tell was because he actually got really like nippy and jumping up on my legs and just being like way too overstimulated. So I popped him in the crate, and he honestly crashed out the quickest I've ever seen him when I put him in the crate, because normally when I put him in the crate, he kind of looks at me like, what have I done wrong? Why have I been put in puppy jail? Whereas now he just like flomped his head down like, thank God you've given me permission to have a nap. And yeah, he slept solid for like 2 hours. We've just been out to the toilet again. That's just standard procedure around here. And now I've actually migrated into my office for the first time since I got him 10 days ago. I am sat at my actual desk doing my work, because previously I've just been sat on the sofa or the kitchen table as I've been slowly introducing him to the different rooms in the house. He has been in the office before, but if I'm being totally honest with you, my office is right by the front door, and the first few times that I've let him in here, he has actually gone to the toilet in here because I think he associates it with like being nearer the front of the house. But what's really interesting now is any toilet accidents that happen, they always happen literally right by the front door, which to me signals that he has put two and two together and realised that that is sort of the gateway to the toilet as such. And, you know, 9 times out of 10, when he runs out there, and it's often when he's like in the middle of play or the middle of eating and he gets distracted and runs out there, I kind of know now, and I scoop him up and take him outside. But yeah, it's like that odd occasion where, for example, a lot of the times when I go to the toilet and he's happily playing or he's happily eating and I think I'll just nip for a wee myself, and I shut the door and I think he's gone really quiet, and sure enough, he's like, oh great, we're going to the toilet, are we? And he does do his business by the front door, so we have to be a bit mindful of that. Like, I'm trying to actually not go to the toilet when I know he might by any small chance need to go, which is utterly ridiculous, I know, but hey, we're only 10 days in and I do feel like it's a lot of progress. When you are day and night looking after a puppy, sometimes I think you can be like kicking yourself for the small things or thinking they should be further along than they are, when you actually have to like rewind and think 10 days ago I didn't even have him, and now he's associating the front door with the toilet, successfully going in the car and not crying all the time, settling in his crate. It's all these little things that you do have to think, okay, we actually have made progress here. And a lot of the things that feel upsetting, for example, when I bring him in and I think he's calm and then he's suddenly like going for my legs and like biting me, and you think this feels personal, but you have to know it's not personal, and this is absolutely normal behaviour for a puppy, and it is just what it is. I don't know if I mentioned this morning, but we were actually up at 4 a.m. this morning. He woke me up at 4, and I could tell from the crying that it wasn't like a I've woken up and I want a bit of attention. It was like I really need the toilet, and sure enough, he really did. So that was the beginning of our day. Great. So it's now coming up for midday, and I do feel like I'm already ready for bed, but he has just settled at my feet. I'm not even going to show you because I don't want to wake him, but he has just fallen asleep at my feet under my desk, which is so lovely. I was thinking about bringing the playpen in here, but actually I thought, you know what, I'm going to see how he fares without it first, and then if he is a bit too much, then I will enforce the pen and have him playing there. But so far he's just been like chewing his toys. I think he is teething as well. But yeah, I'm going to use this next, hopefully maybe hour, 2 hours while he sleeps, to have a bit of a work block and get ahead. And then this afternoon we'll just do the rinse and repeat really of play, toilet, sleep, play, toilet, sleep, and yeah, just see how we get on with that. But so far it's been a brilliant day just from the coffee alone at Sea Space. After literally having my legs used as what can only be described as climbing frames every single time I put him on the floor, I have been broken, and I have decided to install this, not quite puppy jail, I like to call it puppy play jail. So when we come in from the toilet now, I put him straight in here, and it's actually worked wonders. I've only been doing it since last night and the whole of today, but so far so good, because when he goes in there, he just has time to calm ever so slightly. He's got toys in there, he's got food, he's got water, and I am close by. But also I've been using it to do a little bit of separation anxiety training, which isn't going great, I won't lie, but we're seeing tiny bits of progress. The main issue we're having is that if I leave the room, or even if I am on the other side of this room and he can't see me super close by, he just barks and barks and barks, which is so far from ideal. I'm trying to be patient because I know he's only just turned 10 weeks old and it's pretty normal for this to be the case, but even so, it's just a lot when you live by yourself. And even in moments where I literally go to the toilet, I just need him to not be barking the house down, especially in the middle of the night. I'm just worrying so much about my neighbours. I know like a couple of them have already said to me, don't worry at all, you know, it's fine, like we love dogs, we get it, it's totally fine, but still I live in a building with lots of other people and haven't been able to speak to everyone, and I just think, oh my god, is someone in this building literally cursing my name because this dog is barking a lot. But to be fair, when I say that, I realise how silly it sounds out loud, because he's not barking a lot. He's a tiny puppy who's been here for less than 2 weeks, and in that, when you kind of weigh that up, he's doing remarkably well. It's just those small moments in the day, like when I need to go for a shower, when I need to go to the toilet, or I need to go out the front to take the bins out, then he doesn't really love it. I will say he's better in his crate, so if I crated him and then I sort of snuck out, and he did notice I was gone. Don't get me wrong, there would be some barking and whining, but then he would settle a lot quicker than in his pen. But I also think, the pen has only been up less than 24 hours, so he's not used to it. But we've been doing a little bit of training, and I am feeling hopeful, because this morning I put him in there, and then I left the room to go into my bedroom, literally to get to my hairbrush, and he barked and barked, and it was like loud, it was shrill barking, and it went on for like a couple of minutes, and then I waited until I heard a minimum 3-second pause, and as soon as I heard that 3-second pause, I walked in. But I didn't engage with him, and this is what all the training videos online say to do. Didn't engage with him, didn't make my entrance a big deal, because apparently that's the worst thing you can do, is if you leave your dog and then you come back and you go, oh my god, oh good boy, oh I missed you so much. Like, he's actually looking at me now. If you do that, then that gives them the idea that exits and entrances are like big deals, and really what you want is the fact whether I'm here or not should not be a big deal, because he's obviously going to be safe wherever I've left him. But yeah, so you're not meant to make a fuss of them. So I walk back in, don't make a fuss, and then I just like go about my like pottering around. Most of the time I'm pretending to do something, so he thinks like, oh, she's just like making a cup of tea or putting the plates away or whatever. And then once you've had like a lot of quietness while you're present, then you go over and you just gently give him a little stroke, maybe a little treat as well, just to show him that the pen is a place where good things happen, where he gets praise and he gets treats and he's got toys in there and like everything's fun and dandy. And then you literally have to leave again and then repeat the whole thing. But I will say by the third time, he was not barking, he was more like, he was crying still, which is a horrible sound, but he wasn't barking, and you could just tell. I'd leave the room, he'd go, wait, what? And it's like he can't control the impulse to make a fuss, and then as soon as he's like done with that little grumble, you can see the cogs are turning. He's like, wait, last time when I was quiet, she came back. And then as soon as he's quiet, I come back, and I start to also make him stay quiet a bit longer. So instead of coming back after 3 seconds, I came back, I counted 10 seconds earlier, which was great. And I thought, please don't bark and ruin it. And he didn't, and came back in. I've put a little dog mat bed thing in there as well. And it's interesting because when I come back in, he like makes sure he sits there and then like sits on the floor, like as if to say, look, I'm being good, give me a treat. So yeah, disclaimer, I am not a dog trainer by any means. I'm just doing what people were saying online and like trial and erroring it, really, to be honest. But yeah, at least I do have the crate, like small mercies, because if I do need to nip to like the corner shop or something, or go out for, like 15-20 minutes, which is a little bit longer than I would like right now, but I can have the option to put him in the crate. And I do know, because I have had to nip out to the corner shop in the last 10 days. I filmed him and he's good in there. He really does chill. But I'd be really nervous to leave him in the playpen and actually leave the house. But I do know eventually I'm going to have to do it. But I think my idea will be just to continue these little training chunks and get him to a point where hopefully he isn't barking so much when I'm in the house. I suppose though, he doesn't really know. I guess when I go in the shower, he's like, I like to think that he can hear the shower and he's smart enough to realise that I'm still in the house. But I guess if I'm going into my room just to grab something, like who's to say I haven't left the house? So I do understand from his point of view. But yeah, this is the hardest part, I think, is the whole like separation anxiety and just wanting to so badly for that not to be a thing. But I've got to remind myself it's really early days. We've had a very chilled morning anyway, apart from that little sort of exercise that I've been trialing. I've just been working from home today, and then this evening I think the thing that I'm going to do with him, because I'm trying to do like one thing every day where I'm like introducing him slowly to things, and obviously we had our big sea space outing yesterday, so we're keeping it more chilled today, is I'm going to try and bath him. Now I've ordered loads of products and I'll show you guys what I've ordered, but I'm an amateur at this, I don't know what I'm doing, but I just feel like it's been sort of 10 days. I don't think he would have had a bath before with the breeder. So I thought I'd maybe give that a try, maybe even if it's just like introducing him to things like the hairdryer or the running water or the bathtub itself. So I'll be trying to film that later and show you guys, but that's going to be our thing for the day. But yeah, we're having a very chilled sort of afternoon, and I've just got a lot more work to do. Trying to catch up. I was a bit lazy on Monday, I'll admit. I took him to the vets that morning, and when we got back I just found it hard to get back on my laptop and get stuff done. But with the playpen it has helped actually, because even things like making my breakfast has been a bit easier. Just having him, even like he's in the kitchen, as you guys will have seen, so I'm just like walking around him and I'm still present, but it's just makes it a bit easier that he's not climbing on my legs a lot, and like he's very nippy, but I've noticed the nipping is a lot less on me when I'm putting him in the pen, and then I'll bring him out. Like, don't get me wrong, he's not in there all day. I'm going to bring him out in a minute because he's being a really good boy, and we'll let him play around and interact with me as well. I don't want him to feel like he can't do that, and a lot of his naps now are just like napping at my feet while I'm on the sofa, which is really nice. But yeah, it's just, I feel like it's a buffer between chaotic dog when he's first woken up and keeping him calm, and also just making sure that he knows that there are some boundaries, because I feel like perhaps I let him have the run of the house a little too early, and I'm kind of regretting that now. So we'll let ourselves off because we were in our getting to know each other stage, but I feel like the honeymoon phase is slowly coming to an end and there needs to be some rules enforced, Ziggy. I feel like I've really hit a wall with puppy parenting today, but we are gonna stick to what we said we were gonna do, and we're gonna do our bath time and see how he likes it. I'm really not aiming for perfect here. I'm just aiming to get him used to it. He's never had a bath before, so just getting him used to the running water, getting him used to the smells, giving him a little brush, and just to freshen up really. He doesn't need anything major by any means, it's just to get him used to it. So yeah, let's get in the bath. Come on then. Okay, he's trying to make a run for it. This is not a great start. Look, hey, have a treat. You know it's bad when he doesn't accept a treat, because this is what happened in the car. He's so like freaked out that he won't even go for his favourite treats. Here we go. Yum, yum, yum. It's okay, it's okay. I think we're just gonna get him used to being in the tub. Maybe not even run the water today, because this is a lot, I get it. He's like, why can't I get out of this? He's also trying to latch onto me to basically like use me as a climbing frame to escape. Not what I was expecting today, I won't lie. Good boy. Hey guys, checking in from a few days after the last clip you've just seen of me basically trying to give Ziggy a bath. That evening I definitely had my sort of, what have I done? Am I out of my depth? I don't know what I'm doing wobble, which apparently every new puppy owner gets at some point. They call it the puppy blues for a reason. And yeah, after the bathtub incident, which wasn't even an incident by the way, of course you're putting a new puppy into a new scenario or situation, 9 times out of 10 they're probably not going to like it, or they're going to be unsure, and I just put, I think, too much pressure on myself that evening, and it had already been quite a long taxing day anyway, so I just kind of called it a night that evening. And the next day I was on a low frequency, I won't lie. I was feeling a bit down, a few tears were shed, and I think that's totally normal because my entire routine and life has just been flipped upside down. And obviously it's in the best possible way, but at the same time it's still a lot to take on and process, and it's just a big responsibility, isn't it, looking after a puppy. But yeah, a few days have passed, I'm feeling a lot better. Tomorrow is the day that he's allowed to go on his first walk, which I'm so excited about. I cannot wait to have his little paws touch the floor, for him to be able to sniff around, for us to be able to start going on adventures, and it's just like going to be up from here, so I'm really excited about that. I actually did have a day off yesterday as well, which is probably why I feel a little bit rested. I had a family wedding to attend, so Caitlin and Connor were the saviours of the day, and they actually looked after Ziggy all day, and they did a phenomenal job, and I'm forever grateful for them for stepping in like that, because it is no small task looking after a puppy, and they did an amazing job. He's completely tuckered out today, and I'm not mad about it because obviously I went to a wedding yesterday as well, so I'm quite tired today, so it's nice that we're taking a bit of a slower Sunday. He did really well without me as well, which is really nice. Caitlin and Connor said that he did, after like 5 minutes of me leaving, sort of look around and start to think, wait, where has she gone? But then he just cracked on with his day and he was fine. And I think that's the kind of puppy Ziggy is. He does love me, of course, and he was excited to see me when I got back, but he's just the kind of puppy that needs some attention. It doesn't necessarily have to be me, but just some sort of human attention. I am aware that I am still relatively new to him in the grand scheme of our life together, so maybe that bond will grow and maybe he'll become a bit more attached to me, but for now, I'm really happy that he was able to be in the care of 2 very responsible, very lovely people, and he was more than happy and well looked after, and he had a great day, clearly, because he's exhausted today. We're gonna have a really chilled Sunday, just keep things calm and easy. I've been trying to do, as I said, one new thing with him a day, but I think what I've come to realize is that when you're doing lots of new things, you also need to kind of sandwich that in between having calmer days. We've definitely had a few toilet accidents as well over the last couple of days, but they are getting more and more predictable. And I'd say about 80% of the time they are genuinely my fault. Like, he'll be trying to tell me that he needs to go and I will just miss it, or he will go to the door 10 minutes after he's just been out. And I think, oh no, we've just been out. Like, he must just be playing by the door. And then, you know, if he's gone for a wee, then it'll be a poo. So you need to be so on it. But I've also decided to not be too hard on myself, because at the beginning, I was very much like, every single toilet accident is a disaster and a setback. And it's actually not. It's just him learning. And he has to make mistakes to know that he's not going to get the treat that he gets outside when he goes to the toilet, when he does it inside. Like, if he didn't do it inside and he didn't get the treat, then he's not going to be able to differentiate the difference between him going inside and he just, obviously I don't tell him off, but I just ignore him. I'm like, whatever, I clean it up. He doesn't get any attention or any treat. Whereas when he goes outside, he gets a full-on party of, well done, you may as well have just won crufts because I'm so proud of you for doing this wee outside. And if we didn't have the accidents, he wouldn't be able to know that that only happens outside. So I'm trying to think of it as a positive, but also just not be too hard on myself, because at the end of the day, I am home with him 24/7. Apart from the odd time that I have to nip to the shop or go for a shower, he has my attention at all times. And I just can't physically drop every single thing that I'm doing and go outside every single time he even so much as sniffs the floor or goes near the front door. There are going to just be inevitably times that I can't make it there. I would say that about 75% of the time I am picking up on these cues. I'm getting him outside and he's going, and that's all I can really ask for, I think, at these early stages. I would say to anyone thinking about getting a puppy to seriously consider it if you are living in a flat, because I will say that it was something I knew would be a challenge, but it's been more of a challenge than I anticipated. And I am someone who has a garden. I do have a garden. It's just that I don't have a back door to the garden. So it's not like I can just rise and shine and quickly nip in my pajamas, open the back door, and then like get back into bed while he's out in the garden. I have to physically put my shoes on. I have to make sure I pick him up safely. I have to walk out the front door with my keys. I have to walk out of the front of the building, potentially bump into neighbours, walk around the side of the building, through the gate, and then put him in the garden. And there's no real way around that. So I would just say, it's not to say that I'm discouraging anyone who lives in a flat from getting a puppy, because obviously I've done it and I would never take it back now. But I will say that is one thing that I underestimated slightly. I thought, oh, it will be okay, like I'll manage it. And don't get me wrong as well, this weather has been a godsend because it's just been beautiful sunshine. It has not rained a day since I picked him up, and there's no forecast rain for the foreseeable. So I have been so lucky that it's not been the depths of winter. The only time I've been out in the dark in the garden is our last toilet break before bed, and then those 2 a.m. wake ups that I've kind of stopped now. That's the only time I've had to go out sort of in the dark. Whereas obviously if you're getting a puppy in winter in England, it gets dark from sometimes 4 p.m. and it's cold and obviously rainy as well. So I think just bear that in mind if you are thinking of getting a puppy and you don't have a garden. It really is a battle, and it really is something that's very challenging and difficult, but you can make it work. You can make it work. And I'm very stubborn, and I think I'd rather go out there 20 times a day and sometimes he won't go than to miss it or just be like, oh, you know, it'll be fine, and just kind of like give up, because I think the earlier you can nail the toilet training, the better. And he's only going to be able to hold his bladder for longer and longer as he gets older. And none of this and nothing he does is his fault or naughty, because he's a puppy, he's learning, and this is a new environment for him, and he's doing incredibly well. And I'm so proud of him, and I'm proud of myself too. I really do feel like even in the last few weeks, I've really unlocked this new sense of myself where I am responsible and I'm caring for something else and nurturing something and seeing things outside of my own perspective. I think I was quite selfish before I got this puppy, and rightfully so. You know, I'm single, I live alone, I don't have any kids, I don't have any responsibilities, really. I do have responsibilities, of course. I'm responsible for myself, I'm responsible for keeping my friendships and my relationships going with my family, I'm responsible for feeding myself and keeping this roof over my head, running my business, all of that, totally get. But to be responsible for something else that needs your constant care and attention is like a different level. And I do feel like it's really unlocked a nice side to me that I didn't necessarily know if I had it in me, but I kind of did, and I'm just glad that I've proved myself right and that getting a puppy was the right decision for me. I am going to sign this vlog off here, but if you guys have any questions about getting a puppy, the first weeks with a puppy, particularly before they're vaccinated, please do pop them in the comments below and I'll try and answer as many as I can. As I've said multiple times in this video, I am not an expert, I am not a dog trainer. This is my first dog. I've gone into this with zero experience prior, apart from having friends and family that have had puppies before, getting their experiences and their advice, but I really have just thrown myself into the deep end. So if I can answer any questions from my own personal experience just in the last 2 weeks, then please do drop a comment below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe so you can follow along our journey. Thanks for watching this week's video. I hope to see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.